Okay, so I'm gonna say something that needs to be said if you're tapped into the show Beef and the progression between like the first and second season. Um, I can't say progression because they're two separate stories, but if you watch the first season, you'll know that like the bar was set very high. I personally would say it was like a contender for one of my top shows of all time. So going into the second season, I was really apprehensive because like this is like generational for me. Like you could have just not, if you're gonna make a second season, it has to live up. It has to live up to the hype, and I don't think it quite did. So, um, is it still Beef? Yes, and I think that they depict it in an interesting way because instead of between individuals, it's between two couples, and it's also beef within the couples. So it's interesting to see how that plays out and kind of like the pushing and pulling apart that we see within the two couples. But my issue is, does it ever reach the drama, the vulnerability, the passion that season one did? Not even close. And yeah, I mean, I was telling my friends, like, you try to make a sequel to a masterpiece, like, we know how it's going to play out, but I'm still a bit disappointed. And I think that this is hindered by the characters just being so hard to love. Beef really has this undertone of like the rat race. Like it depends on your belief in the desperation of these characters and seeing their actions through their lens. If you don't have that, then it all kind of falls apart. And in season one, like you see Amy's exasperation with her life. Like you see Danny's desperate. Like the very first scene is Danny returning some propane tanks he was going to use to kill themselves, and like it's so effortlessly displayed on screen. You never have to explain it. You never have like it's just so clear to the viewer from the very start. And while season two would rather tell you, like you'll be sitting there like season or episode two or so, and Austin's literally lecturing about like capital, like it's just way too on the nose um in how it like tries to portray this message, and it gets to the point that we're lacking any kind of real like struggle with these characters. Like I can't feel bad for for like Ashley or Austin or whoever when they do something just shitty, because up to now I haven't seen them really struggle. Like and like it's not that Ashley and Austin don't struggle financially or that Josh and Lindsay don't struggle, but we don't really see that. It's like meant to be conveyed to us, but we don't see that. Like I think that ultimately, despite their troubles, Ashley and Austin just are opportunists. Like they just took the opportunity to blackmail and they used it. And Josh and Lindsay are both just manipulative people. Like Lindsay is just I'm not gonna say the most hateable. She's definitely got maybe the most hateable moments in the show, just for how like manipulative and cunning she is. But their case especially is just so hard to reserve empathy for because, I mean, he runs a country club. He's embezzling money. He's sending money he doesn't have, and going into debt over his guilt for missing a funeral years ago. Like, at all points, we basically have the problem that regardless of whether we like deserve empathy for these people, it's very hard to reserve it because there just has not been any adequate exposition into their background and motivations. And yeah, just like it made me think about like season 1, like when we went back to Amy's childhood home, we saw Danny throw out Paul's college applications. Like it was such a like visceral like just like sequence that like makes you truly like see what drives these characters, and there's just none of like even the one of the most crucial like background like plot points, which is the fact that Josh like spent all of Lindsay's inheritance on his mom's treatment. There's not like a single like flashback scene. It is all in past tense in vague terms, and yeah, and all of the mitigating factors are in vague terms, so all we're left with is just seeing these very unlikable characters. And like this comes back to like how much I like hate Ashley in the last episode. Like when she hid the USB, like God, like I was just praying that Austin would just go to the police right then, and then she had to convince him not to, and then she hid the USB and then fessed up to it, at which point he didn't even turn it in. He didn't even get justice for what essentially was bribing and covering up a killing. He seems to give the USB back to the chairwoman and then go fucking marry Ashley after she fucking did all this stupid stuff. And it's supposed to, you're supposed to believe that like she did all of that out of love, and I think it's very hard to sell that when, I don't know, we haven't really seen anything to like drive Ashley or Austin. We really don't like understand her motivations. Like sure, there's this sequence where like Ashley's going to the hospital for her ovarian torsion, and because the wait times are so long and because she refused to give up her blackmail to Josh in exchange for a favor, she ends up losing her ovary, and that prompts her to break into his house and like put like period blood in his orange juice, and I'm not sure she does anything else besides leave the door open, which results in the dog getting out and getting killed. But the sequence just doesn't. It's kind of hard to like empathize with any of it. Like I don't know. Like obviously, losing the ovary, like that is meant to be very important to her because of how badly she wants a kid, but it just doesn't really feel like grounded anywhere. Like I'm just in the like 5 hours the show has been running, we've been like told that Ashley really wants a kid. We haven't really, I don't know, been shown that in any way. We haven't like truly seen like the gravity of like this whole ovary thing, and so when the end result is like you get their dog killed, and when the end result is like you hide this USB and like we never get justice for a killing, like I find it very hard to empathize with Ashley or with Austin. I don't understand getting with her, and I think that this maybe tests us as viewers by asking if we can love these characters in spite of their flaws. Like maybe Austin's just a better person than I am, but I don't know. I forget if there's anything else that really like bugged me about those characters. I mean, Josh is just, yeah, I mean, like the whole embezzling money that you don't have over like a guilt for something that, I don't know. Like even Lindsay, like if we had been like a single scene in like her countryside whatever, except like the last one where we like could see like how she grew up and like what her dreams were, like that would add so much gravity to like the contrast with the current scene, and there just is nothing. There's just nothing. And yeah, I think that's kind of it. I honestly was hoping Austin would just get with Eunice. I can't lie, because Ashley was just kind of horrible. Like she was going through his phone, like it was just horrible. And yeah, I told my friends like season 2 is to be as like Vultures is to the Kanye discography. Like it's genuinely upsetting to me. Like I had to say something, because you had something generational. Like you had something that like I could tell my kids, like this is a great show, but now there's like a little asterisk at the end because you had to add this shitty season onto it. And I mean that's just how Netflix works. I mean they do that with like Squid Game. These writers, I highly doubt the writer wanted a second season, given how he wrote the first and how it was meant to be like this limited series. And obviously it was. This is a fresh story, but I really don't think it was meant to get a second season. And yeah, I think that's just ultimately what kind of upsets me.